So today we got on our plate is a semi-cheese, semi-not cheese, and this one's kind of weird. So our guinea pig Terran today will be Frost, and I am of course Troublemaker, and I'll speed that up a little bit. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to do a Proxy Marauder rush, and then from there go in the options. So at around 8 supply, I will bring my dude up here. This one I'm doing a little bit different. You can still do normal timings with gas after racks. I'm just doing the gas before because I'm going to try and show something very specific, the Marauder expand. So you're going to do a Marauder expand, get your gas first. Really good reason for this afterwards. So you have to do some scouting. It's going to make it look like you're playing normal. And when someone sees a gas first, they're going to think one of two things. One, he's proxying, or two, he's doing a gas burst play. And gas burst plays are usually Banshees or Hellions. And so people will prepare for that. And that's, like, as I always say about cheese, you gotta make it look like something. If it looks like nothing, then they're gonna think it's cheese. They go in there and go like, oh, that's weird, he's only got 4 pylons in his base. Well, obviously they're not all there. So this guy is going for a little bit of harassment, but he doesn't know it's coming quite yet. He has his own racks up. He has it rallied in his base. He doesn't have his ramp walled off, and that's going to hurt him. So if you're trying to defend this, before I say anything, as a Terran you should always wall off with your depots. And there's 2 reasons why I do this. One is it'll stop rushes, and 2, like if you scout them, it'll stop rushes. And the second thing it'll do, it'll stop Hellions. Because you don't want Hellions running into your main, just zapping everything. So that is that. And yeah. I would always just suggest always doing this, walling off. So he builds a supply depot here because he had a really bad scout. He thought that I was doing a gas expand, which is basically like you expand while you have a lot of gas, and that way you're not going to be behind on tech, which people do. So he thinks I'm doing for an expansion, so he brings 2 Marines here. Now I actually have no buildings here that defend. And you're thinking like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, blah blah blah. Not really. If he brought 2 Marines and 2 SCVs, then I'd be in trouble. But just 2 Marines, that is quite easy to fend off. All you do is use your SCVs. So over here, I have my first Marauder pumped out. And see, it would be 2 Marines versus 1 Marauder. The Marauder would win. It's got 125 hit points compared to, the minuscule 45. So the Marauder is in play. So you want to get it on bunker, if you can. If you get on bunker, you just kind of win, right? Well, you don't win, but you do insane amounts of damage. So what you actually hit here doesn't actually matter. You just want him to pull his SCVs off the line. These things have tons of health, and in truth, you're trying to defend against this. Just build your own bunker, and don't pull any SCVs. So down here you can see, with a little bit of micro, I have cleaned up all these forces quite effectively, and I don't lose a single SCV. Not a hard rush to fight off. So the bunker does go up because he kind of just let this happen, and he does have a Hellion up. Now since he's pulled all these off, he has no money. He can't produce units, and I in fact did get the Marauder in, and he is actually targeting the Hellion. You can't target from here, which is kind of bad, but whatever. You look at the income, and you can see like it's it's about even right now, but that'll change very quickly. Cheese will cost, and I'm not really producing SCVs religiously. I'm thinking that I should build this barracks just for a little bit of security. But, at this point you can also build a command center down. What I'm not doing, what I should be doing, is getting stims. That's what the gas is for. Get a stim, get your upgrades, and you can go 2 ways with this. One is a follow-up with a 3 racks upgraded, or 2, you can expand and get, normal stuff like siege tanks, Banshees, Vikings, that kind of stuff. And, this is pretty brutal. Pro players actually use this push. In fact, it's become so popular in the North American scene that everyone sort of just does it against each other, and you'll have a lot of matches where it's like, one Marauder rush versus another Marauder rush. And he's not doing so hot right now. Money is low, he's producing out of, very few structures. All the while, I'm finally getting my Marine production, and, oop, gotta sneeze. Whew. I'm switching over to a 3 racks with Marines. All the while, Marauders are still uncontested. So I'm just going to keep streaming in these Marauders and keep doing damage. Now as you can see here, he's trying to make a counterattack, which isn't going to work out too hot for him. If you want to defend against Hellions, you have to have your Marines spread out in a concave, and that way he's not going to splash damage you. As you can see here, he's just taking more and more damage. I'm target firing the Marine, but unfortunately he has too much damages there. The goal is just keep his actual units small, right? He doesn't know when this is going to end, you're not going to tell him. And as you can see here, the stims have begun, and you know, he got a Hellion in. Whatever, I cleaned it up pretty easily. Pull a few SCPs, got the Marine. I'm not doing the highest APM right now. This, you know, like, I'm, 23. This guy's shooting 60, 70. Just, this strategy is actually a little, well, honestly boring. So the reason why I pull off here and I stop, bunker. You don't want to run into the bunker. Running into bunkers is a bad idea. Stims will finish and you can start combat shields. Just keep a few Marauders here, just to kind of protect this a little bit. You don't want any fast snipes. All the while, macro up. Now, like I said, you can expand here. You can do normal things. I did this build over specifically so that I could show an expand build. But it's also a bit interpretation. So I went in there and I did stupid amounts of damage. I slowed down his tech massively, right? I pulled his units off the production line very heavily. This guy is not producing anything at all. So I'm pretty safe. So we're going to expand. Once again, you just want to have your Marines spread out in a lineup across here. And just for the good old reason of the Hellion. You don't want the Hellion to get in there. And we're also getting our combat shields. And we'll be able to do a racks push. See here I'm throwing on lots of reactors. This is called expected production. You get the reactors now, you're banking up resources. You'll immediately be able to pump out the 8. And you should have enough workers, which I'm close to produce small of these. Why do I get double gas? I have no friggin' clue. I assume I'm expecting to do some upgrade trees and stuff and whatnot, blah blah blah, but I have no idea. So yeah, let's figure this out. You know, it's we're 11 minutes in. He's finally figured this out, and yeah, I lift off unfortunately just a little bit before the combat shield finishes, and so this is going up here. So the barracks has some good purposes. One, the barracks can scout mineral lines and just see if he's expanded. Two, you can put it into dark areas of the map and proxy from within his base and continue the cheese. So I know he's going to counterattack. He's got Hellions. So I spread my units out, a nice little concave, and they all die. There's unfortunately just nothing he could do, and he's just rallying in them. It's really bad plays. This is a diamond player, guys. You know, this is, you know, the best of the best kinds. So we're doing, 3 racks production. I got more racks coming down. I got lots of money to spend. And I have an engineering bay coming down. The engineering bay coming down has 2 purposes. 1, upgrades. I have lots of gas. 2, I also need detection in case he decides to go for banshees, which everyone does. There's two things you can do when if you survive this cheese and you want to catch up. Banshees is not too bad, but it's not great because lots of Marines. Marines are very good against banshees. Second thing is you should do is siege tanks. Get those right away. 1 or 2 siege tanks, defend, expand, and then expand again. This guy's in no position to defend this, unfortunately. The stims are off, and unfortunately, he's done it. So thank you guys for watching another How to Cheese Well, and I'm hoping to have more great stuff next time. So stay tuned.